Hey guys, welcome to TCR, the Crouch Ranch. And I am going to show you how to make some really cool little fire starters. These are things that you can make at home, 3 simple ingredients to make them. This is something I make year-round and store up for mostly use during the winter in your indoor fireplace as a fire starter. You can use them camping or, anywhere you need to start a fire. These things are great. One of them will do the job. They are awesome little things to have, really easy to pack and take with you if you're going camping or anything like that. Really great little thing to have. So I'm going to show you the 3 things that you need to make them and how to do it. The ingredients that you guys need is dryer lint. Now you can either use wood chips, wood shavings, or dryer lint. Now dryer lint is my favorite thing to use because what else are you going to do with dryer lint? What else are you possibly going to do with dryer lint except dryer lint? And as you can see, I just did a bunch of blankets, so there's a bunch in here. So I'm going to get a nice little ball of that. And what I do is I simply keep a little, and I'll show you guys real quick. Got to get on my step stool to get up here because I'm short. Who knew? So right up here in my little cupboard that I have above the dryer, or above the washer rather, I keep a Ziploc baggie, and every time I clean out the dryer vent, every time I do a load of laundry, I shove it in here. And then when this gets full, I am ready to make some more fire starters. A way to use something that just would have been thrown out and useless, it now has a purpose. I love that. You can use wood chips, like wood shavings, but those are kind of a pain to have to try to save if you're doing some woodworking or scoop them up because they tend to kind of get lost in the shuffle. But something like dryer lint, pretty much everybody has readily available. So unless, you're beating your clothes up against a rock and letting them dry in the sun, then I recommend going down to a laundromat and cleaning out their vents for them. It'll set you up pretty quick. Another ingredient you're gonna need is wax. Now what I like to do is, I'm kind of a, candle connoisseur. I love candles. I have candles going. In fact, my friends tease me because when they come over for a party or a get together or a dinner or whatever, they're like, how many candles did she light tonight? And they go around and count them. They have bets going on it now. It's like a thing. But anyway, so I go through some candles, and the cool thing is I like the ones from Bath & Body Works because they last a long time and they burn really clean. So when they get down to the bottom here, like kind of where my thumb is, you can't really light them anymore. They're burned out essentially, but there's still wax in them. So all those little candle remnants that you have, those candles that aren't going to burn anymore, but they still have wax in them, these are great to use. And I'll show you a couple different ways to do this. Another option is, I love a bargain, the dollar store. They have those big candles at the dollar store that you can get. Sometimes they're in packs. Sometimes they're just a large candle or a chunk of wax that you can get there. Anything like that is going to be great. Okay guys, so there's 2 different ways that I like to do this. If I had a fire going right now, that's my favorite way to do it. I like to take the almost empty candles that have burned down like I showed you and put those on top of the wood burning stove. Now I know not everybody has a wood burning stove, so for those of you who don't have that option, this is your next option. I've got water boiling behind me, and you're essentially going to make a double boiler. And it doesn't take very long, so Frankie put a penny in this candle for some reason. So, but you can see that it's almost burned out. Like you can't see because this one's not clear, it's got a coating on it, but it's right down at the bottom. You can't light it anymore, but there's still a decent amount of wax in there. So I'm going to go ahead and float that in here. And you're essentially, because it's in glass that's, used to high heat, you're essentially doing like a double boiler. So that wax that's in there is going to loosen up. But like I said, my favorite way to do this is just when we have a fire going in the wood burning stove, which is what our main heat source is for the house, and which this time of year, like I'm sure we'll have a fire tonight, and I had a fire this morning, but I wasn't ready to film this yet, so I couldn't show you on there. But basically I just let it sit there, and you'll start smelling this amazing smell of all the candles in the house, and you'll realize, oh, the wax is melted and it's liquidy now, and I can use it. So we're gonna let that sit for a few minutes and let it do its thing. Okay guys, so the next step here, while I'm waiting for my wax to melt, doing its double boil thing, or sitting on the top of the wood burning stove, is I'm gonna take an egg carton. This is an old one here. It's an 18 pack, which we don't like to put our eggs in the 18 packs, so these work great for fire starters. And I've got my dryer lint, and you're literally just gonna shove it into these cups and kind of squish it down as best you can. You know, you can make these as neat or as sloppy as you like, you know, just like anything else in life, right? And you'll kind of get a feel for it. I've done, I don't know, a million of these things, so you can kind of tell, you know, how much wax you have versus how many of the egg cups it's gonna fill to make a fire starter. So I'm gonna fill a couple of these up. We'll see how close my estimate is. We'll see how good I am at that today, because I'm not sure, but we'll see. My game might be a little off. I'm tired, but we'll see. Starting to melt. You can see it's pulling in from the sides. All right, guys, so it's melted enough so I can show you guys how to do this. I'm in a time crunch because, well, I have some pieces to pull off of here to edit, and I got to get to dance class with Frankie. So I'm going to show you it's mostly melted. One of the reasons I don't like doing it this way as much either is because it's hot, and getting it out of the water, sometimes it'll drip and whatever, but I much prefer to do it on top of the wood burning stove, but we're going to do it this way today. All right, so you're literally just going to pour it into each cup over the lint or over your wood chips or whatever it is you're choosing to use. And you're just going to pour it in. Not quite 5, but that's okay. So you can see there how it's just poured over the top. I dripped it a little bit because I'm also trying to hold the camera at the same time to show you guys. But you can see how that just pours right over. Just like that. And then you're gonna let it cool and dry. So the cool thing about this is a finished one here that I've got. They literally just tear apart. Like I can just tear off a cube and stick it underneath my logs that I'm gonna light, my kindling, and light the corners of this, and then it'll burn slowly and burn the wood and start your fire. The other cool aspect is if you're doing something where, you know, the wax is in that some kind of candle container, once you burn this out, and then these will just lift out, the little wick holders, you can dump it out. Again, I've got one hand, but you can pull them out with tweezers or tongs or whatever. But sometimes they'll slide out into your starters too, and that's all right. You can always pull them out if you need to. But now you've got this cleaned out glass container that you can, you know, repurpose for something, you know, that you can put other things in, do the sand thing with the votive or whatever, and you've got another candle holder. So it's like two mints in one, right? Good stuff. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you learned something about how to make these cool little fire starters. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you give it a try, and I hope it makes your life a little bit easier. I sure as heck know they have made my life a little bit easier, because when I want to get a fire going and maybe the wood's a little bit more wet because it wasn't covered, or Mike's not home and I'm having trouble getting the fire started, these things really do help. Not that I'm not capable of starting a fire. I know what you guys are all saying, but these things are really helpful. You know, get it going and raging really fast without the use of just shooting lighter fluid into the fireplace, because that's bad. Don't do that. Yeah, not good. Anyway, so give it a try, guys. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell so you get the notifications.
It isn't gonna be easy, but I gotta make a stand. I settled down for so long, girl, I can't remember who I am. again. Whiskey River never runs dry. Every night's a brand new day, living every word of every song you play. Just south of heaven, close as I can come to the promised land. Just south of heaven, south of heaven's where I'll make my stand.